Hey ladies, it's Randy. So I've been noticing some new features rolling out on Facebook pages, and I wanted to talk about them real quick here. This is actually that WooCommerce. I'm going to talk about that down here because I see some big potential for your Facebook page. Listen, people who run like online shops, Shopify shops, or a WooCommerce store, people who ship, physical products like t-shirts and soaps and shampoo and stuff, their Facebook pages are actually very important to their business and to their sales. A lot of them get sales directly in Facebook, but for people like us, coaches, online entrepreneurs who create products and programs, they haven't always been our greatest sales tool. Well, I think Facebook is starting to change that, because when I signed in this morning to check up on my stats and my Facebook ads, I saw this notification. And this has been happening frequently lately, where I've been noticing these tips or pieces of advice or like feedback from Facebook. They'll send me an email or a notification that says, hey, we noticed whatever, this post might perform well as an ad, just little tips. I've been noticing little changes, and so I wanted to share how important this is for you and your business. Not only is this where business is going to online e-commerce. Have you ladies seen how many physical stores are closing? How many malls are closing? It is becoming increasingly tough to not only run a brick and mortar business, but retail and purchases, shopping is going online. And if we do not get in the game, we are going to be left behind. It's going to be a lot harder to make six figures than it needs to be. So let me actually start with this, because I didn't include this in the steps, although I probably will go back and add it in the note. I really want you to look into verifying your page. Listen, all you have to do is just Google it. How to verify Facebook page. Look for a Facebook link. Just make sure that you go to Facebook, right? How do I request a verification badge for my page? Now here's the deal. All you have to do is send them some business paperwork, which is super easy. If you're a registered business in your city, which you should be, because if you're making money as an entrepreneur, you should be registered and you should be paying taxes. If you have business paperwork, all you have to do is send that to them, and it's done automatically. Just follow the instructions on here, and you'll get this temporary gray badge. Now, I don't know when it turns to blue, but I do know that it takes some time. It just takes some time. But at this point, you are a verified page, which just adds credibility to your business. People know that you're the real deal. And I think that that's important. I know it is important for me as a consumer, right? And someone who buys stuff. It's important to me. So that's number one. Now, for my first official tip here, I think it's important for you to update your images, make sure that they're fresh and new. Your profile image doesn't have to be changed so often, but your cover image can actually drive marketing, drive traffic to what you're currently marketing. So just make sure that you want images that are bright and light and full of contrast. Because when you think about how people see your Facebook page, say on a mobile device, where the images are very small, you need to make impact, right? It's got to be something that sticks out. So just keep that in mind when you're making your cover pages. Tip number 2, you want to definitely activate the call to action button. This thing, I love this thing. Ever since they installed it, I freaking love this thing, because we don't have to do it manually anymore. If you have not activated this, you definitely need to. If it's not activated, it should say something like, add a button or activate your call to action, create call to action, something like that. Just go to edit button, drive traffic where you want people to go, either a current campaign or offer, or your Facebook group, or some other place where you want them to go, where you want people to gather, where it's easy for you to get into communication with them. You can do an opt-in, you can do a free video series, you can do Book Now. There's tons of plugins involved and connected to this button, to this call to action button. Number 3, and I had done this, to be honest with you, I don't know what happened to my services, but I did have services in here on my Facebook page. They're gone now. I think I made some changes to my buttons over here, and so my services disappeared. But you can actually add services. I've seen this done not only on my own Facebook page, but other people's Facebook pages, where it's very simple. In the feed, it basically, shows towards the top here, services, and it basically lists them out, right? So that people, potential clients, can get information about working with you without having to even leave Facebook, without even having to, click the link to go to your website. Next tip number 4, add products. This is so important. I'm going to be hitting this hard moving forward. I'm going to actually put my low-end product offers, and it will show up right here in my feed, so that when people come to my Facebook page, they can just click these tabs and learn more about them. It will also show up in my feed anytime you add products and services to your Facebook page. They will show up, like, literally as soon as people land on here, right? The group feed, it'll have a product feed and a services feed. It's brilliant. It's readily available. Then they can always navigate over here if they want to. Oops, let me go back here. Okay, here's what I want to talk about. Build or integrate your Shopify or WooCommerce website store in with your page. Now, historically, I've actually tried to do this with a couple of other things several months ago, and it was way complicated. But look at this. So Facebook is making it easier and easier for you to build, or I should say integrate your website store with your Facebook page, because all I had to do was download this plugin, right? Because I have a WooCommerce store on my website that I run product and service sales through. All I have to do is integrate this plugin, right? And it will take information from my WooCommerce website store and integrate it. In this case, it's adding the pixel. So I can now, without even having to navigate, away from my website, I will understand sales activities for my store on my website through Facebook. What people are responding to, what they're buying, where they're where my upsells are working. It's frickin' brilliant, right? Just take advantage of this. We have to leverage these pieces of technology that help us make more money. And like I said earlier, Facebook pages have been wonderful for online e-commerce stores. For people like us, coaches and online, creatives, not so much. But this is where it starts. Once you start getting these tools that Facebook uses inherently and integrate them into your Facebook page, you will absolutely, number one, be able to understand the information that is happening, right? Where people are buying, where they're dropping off, where stuff isn't coming together. And then from that information, how to optimize their experience and your sales. Next tip is to connect your Facebook page to your group. I've started doing this, and actually I've noticed an increase in group requests to join. Not that I'm approving all of them, but I have noticed an increase. in requests to join my cash flow challenge group. And I just have to work on that because obviously the people who are, oh, that's the other thing. I should do a video on that. I actually created questions for my Facebook group, and the people who don't answer, I don't approve. Or the people who answer those questions that tell me immediately whether or not they are a qualified ideal prospect, I either decline or accept their request to join the group because I'm very intentional moving forward who I want to work with and where they need to be monetarily, mentally, obviously, right? Monetarily, mentally, and where they are in their business growth. I need to know those things so that I know how I can help them inside the group and what they're going to be ready to invest in and where I'm going to have to make adjustments to suit their needs. But the great thing about connecting your Facebook page to your group is that, check this out. So on your Facebook feed, once you connect your page to your group, it's got this feed. I'm not crazy about, the post. You can actually see the post. I'm going to have to figure out how to restructure my posts because this is just raw text. It's not formatted or it doesn't show the same on this feed. So I think what I might do is from now on, I might use my notes to format, and add icons and all that stuff so that I want to see if it shows up differently because I don't like this. I would imagine that they're going to improve this. What's awesome is that as soon as somebody sees this on my page feed, they can click the Join Now button or they can click this post to learn more about it. Ultimately, I want people in my Facebook group because that's the first place I go to sell. It's the easiest, it's the most authentic for me. So I want people in there. I want like 20,000 people in there. Last but not least, do lives. I know there are some people teaching this, and I have to say that doing Facebook Live is brilliant. You know that. It allows people to see your face, hear your voice, hear your passion, feel your passion. It goes far beyond just a Facebook post. I believe not everyone has to do Facebook Lives to boost their sales, but I know for me, it's been hugely influential in being visible to my people and actually giving them a chance to get to know me because I'll be honest, I'm totally an introvert. If I had my choice, I would probably never go on video. If I had my choice, I would probably never really deal with a formal social media sales strategy. Like I'm sort of like the Danielle Laporte. I like to show up like once a year. But the fact remains that people have to see you. They have to get to know you. They have to hear your voice. They have to be able to hear your message and then be able to connect with it in a deep emotional way, because that connection is what builds, a thriving community and thriving sales. Because lives are, you guys have heard all the stories, right? The internet is going to be 70% video, 90% video, in the next 10 years. It is going to be very noisy and it's going to be pretty challenging to get in front of people and to get noticed. But we're not even close to being there yet. I don't know what the stats are, but I know that there's only a small percentage of entrepreneurs using video on a consistent basis to get in front of their people. And I know this, long before they had Facebook Lives, I would just record videos, even like this, just so that I could convey information and people could hear my voice. This is a real person behind this business. But now that you have the opportunity to do lives, video is huge to your business, and I've seen it. I've seen it. Even if my videos weren't perfect, and even if they were instructional videos like this, where, you didn't even see my face, but you heard my voice. Doing this is what helped me get to six figures, and it will absolutely help you. My recommendation is this: commit to doing lives or videos. Listen, I don't care how you get it done, just get it done. Videos at least 3 times per week. Videos at least 3 times per week, and I need you to commit to 6 to 9 months of solid consistency. I have found from experience that commitment to consistency. Listen, I used to go into my business long before I was at six figures. I used to go into my business and I was like, well, we'll see what happens this week. I'll just, fly by the seat of my pants and see what happens. And without that commitment and without that solid plan, I would do something for a couple of weeks and then I would just, drop off. And I would have to work hard all over again to get in front of people and for people to notice me and for people to be inspired to sign on. So finally, when I decided to go back to six figures in August of 2014, right, that moment of I'm not staying here. I'm not staying at $2,000 months anymore. I'm not doing it. And I am in it to win it. Those first 6 to 9 months of, going to 10K months, listen, that commitment to consistency seriously paid off. So you've got to be in it. You've got to be in it. I will say that, a lot of you may have noticed it's a little quiet on Facebook right now. I mean, usually by this time of day, I've got like 30 or 40 notifications. Right now I've got 7. And the truth is, it is summertime. People have their kids at home. They might be on vacation. They might be taking time off. And while it may seem like, oh, well, since nobody's here or Facebook isn't that active, I'm just going to lay low this summer and come back at it, in September when the kids go back to school. I am going to stop you right there and just say, this is the time. If there are less people on Facebook, including coaches, you need to be visible. You need to be on here working this platform. If this is where your people are, right? Which for most of us, I know it is. If this is where your people are and you've had that thought of, well, people are taking time off and it's a little bit quiet. And listen, now is the best time for you to get on here and get busy and be visible. Here's what I know from experience. Do not allow circumstance or the external world, to tell you what to do. Sorry, hold on, I have to sneeze. Okay, sorry about that. Do not allow the external world to tell you when the right time to market your business is. The right time to market your business is now. It's always now. And if you're worried about people being, offline or people not hearing you, or in fact, you being extremely visible because there aren't that many people online right now, well, then you got to take a look at that. But I'm here to tell you that now, the best time for marketing is always now. Do not allow external circumstances or trends or, summertime or, kids being at home to stop you from what needs to be done to grow your business and to ultimately step into the life that you came here to live, because you're going to need the money to do that. Okay. So I hope that these tips helped you. I'm actually going to mention one last thing here. I found this out by accident the other day. So I finally got the feature to update my profile picture with a video. So check this out. So you just record a quick video. Actually, you go see, And what's really cool about that is that I wanted it to look like a regular picture. And then I just, like very casual. What I wanted to do by doing this, so if you go to your profile and update your profile picture, do it from your mobile device and see if it gives you the option to record a quick video. Because the reason I do this is, I don't know if it's going to show me, but inside the news feed, what's awesome is that inside the news feed, it doesn't really show it here, darn it. Inside the news feed, usually with my profile, it'll play. And I think it must do it on my mobile device. I'll have to record it and see if it does it. But I've actually seen on my news feed, when I'm in Facebook and I'll be scrolling down, if I come across a post that I wrote, like this video will be playing in the news feed in real time, and it'll just be looping. So when someone sees it on the news feed, and the reason I put my hand in there was because I wanted the contrast of it's sort of like something moving. I specifically did that. Trust me, I'm very strategic about almost everything I do in my business. I could have just smiled, but really you want to get somebody's attention, and that contrast with the moving hand and the light color against the dark background. I mean, I could have shot this in my office. I didn't. I shot it outside with a dark background with so that the light was on my face, and so that when I would move my hand, it would be easily seen. So on mobile devices, once you record this profile video, okay, that's enough. I got to turn that off. In the news feed, if you do this, trust me, it will pop out in the news feed and people will see it. We really have to be smart about leveraging every single resource you have available to you to get your business noticed and to sign more ideal clients. No more messing around. 6 figures, nothing below that. Nothing below that. 6 figures and more, period. Okay? I'll see you guys soon. Much love.